Hi, I'm Cathy Crafty, author of Marriage Conversations from Coexisting to Cherished, and I'm here to offer some insights today about how to reboot your marriage and create the marriage that you would love and cherish. So let's dive in. Today's question is, how do I know if my marriage is worth saving? That is a really tough question, a deeply personal question. And if we're really honest, I think most people have wondered that along the way. And I think of that now, that discouraging feeling, as marriage fatigue, because marriage is hard and it does get tiring and you do get discouraged. So the truth is, it's hard to know if a marriage is worth saving. There's really only two people that can know that. Now, if you're in a marriage that's unsafe, you may need to take a break, seek counseling, and make some hard decisions. But otherwise, only two people really know the answer to that question: is my marriage worth saving? And really, they don't know the answer even, because only God knows what He will do in the future and how or when He will answer your prayers. It's impossible for us to predict the future. But I can tell you why I stayed in my marriage. In a quick story too, it won't take me about a minute. When we hit about the 7-year mark, I realized I wasn't functioning very well because I had an old abortion in my background that I had never told my husband about. And I knew I needed to tell him. That was part of healing for me. So I sat him down at the counselor's office and I dreaded this conversation, which I now think of as conversational adventures because they take a lot of courage. Anyway, I told him about it, but I wondered, would he reject me? Would he want to just throw me away like a piece of trash? Instead, he wrapped his arms around me and he said the most grace-filled words I believe I've ever heard. Cathy, I'm very sorry you had to go through that. Well, that just lit up my heart, and it gave me a reason to stick with him for 40 plus years. And here's why. I knew, where would I ever find another man who would love me in that same unconditional way? That was just a reason to stay in the marriage. So it was really good that I had that moment, because at 20-year mark, we had a really tough time. We were experiencing marriage fatigue in the worst way, and nobody told us. Nobody told us that is a common moment. When your kids go off to college or they grow up and leave the house, you have to renegotiate your marriage and the way you live together. It's a big transition and it's very scary. So we were experiencing marriage fatigue, but I could think back to that moment of the compassion story, and I could realize that my marriage was worth saving. So I hope that in your marriage, there are moments like that just light up your heart, that make you so happy to be married to Him. I hope you're not experiencing marriage fatigue. So if you are, there's kind of a negative spiral that can happen. Satan loves to attack us. And so in a different video called Forgiveness, It's a Miracle and a Choice, I write about how to get out of those negative spirals. And finally, I'm going to close with this thought. People are very quick to judge, and oftentimes a person who's divorced will not share the details of what drove them to a divorce, and there's some good reasons for that. If they have children, they don't want to speak negatively about their child's parent. And as Christians, we really need to respect that. There is no place for us to judge and condemn other people. In fact, condemnation is so toxic that we really do not want to introduce that into our family conversations by judging and condemning others. It's just a really toxic way to live, and we don't want to do that. Instead, we want to live with practicing compassion, just like my husband did. Thanks for watching. If you're ready to take the next step to strengthening your marriage, check out my book, Marriage Conversations from Coexisting to Cherished. It's 20 chapters of stuff I wanted my own kids to know so they wouldn't throw away their beautiful marriages in a fit of fatigue. Grab your copy today at crossrivermedia.com, or you can find more truth with a Texas twang at Cathy Crafty, Kraf as in Frank, V as in Victor, E as in Edward.com, CathyCrafty.com. Thank you. Bye.